Thank you so very much for joining me here. This is your weekly love reading. It's for June 23rd through 29th, 2025. These are messages coming directly from the Most High God to support what is going on for the Holy Grail unions this week. So, Holy Grail unions are part of the God's plan for the new earth, for the 5D age of Aquarius. This is all connected to our bloodline. This would be considered 144,000 or the chosen, but basically we've got the DNA, the blood of the Christed bloodline in us, and what God's doing is rebuilding this new earth age of Aquarius bloodline through this divine unions and bringing back our covenant union template, covenant marriage, covenant counterparts, where the two of you both are in that covenant with the Most High God, in partnership, in that new earth way, with God's source, with God as the Godhead of you both, of your marriage, of your union, and of your family. And what we're doing is through the genes, through the blood, we're regenerating the new earth bloodline essentially here. So this is where, without like the separation, the duality, that twin flame stuff, none of that is this. This is a holy union where God is the matchmaker. God's chosen the two of you, God's pairing the two of you based on your genes, the genetics, the DNA, the blood, and also like where you're at with your service, with your mission, and these sorts of things. So this is not really our personal desires in union. This is what God has for us to create God's plan of this new earth family tree and template. And that's why we've gone through so much detoxing, ancestral karma, idolatry, all of these sorts of things that we've had to clear personally. And this is part of the ascension journey, essentially heal the inner child. All this stuff has been to get everything rectified from our ancestors, especially that curse of Deuteronomy, idolatry, especially getting rid of that narcissistic codependent paradigm and having that point of attraction with people that are embodying the devil essentially here. They're not of God. They're not God's people, but they definitely come in here to take us off a path and away from this union that God has for us. So what we've been doing is processing through all of that and then moving on. And so the more we continue on into this age of Aquarius, the easier this is going to be, the more simple it's going to be to understand. There could be also like karmic cords or contracts that you're still dissolving. So everyone's on different layers and levels in with these readings. Some people are in union, some people are with the wrong person, some people are patiently waiting. You know, we're all at different stages and levels. And so just to be continuing on with the flow, especially if I read you in the beginning. So if the messages that are coming through resonate with what your experience is, then this divine counterpart I read in the second half of the reading is reflective of your counterpart here. If that person isn't, if this, what's coming through isn't what you're seeing in a person you're seeking to have this union with, that could mean that it's not that person, right? It's God has this person for you here. So just however this comes through, I'm hearing like God is the matchmaker of this assignment for the age of Aquarius. So we really have to practice surrendering to this as well to complete this mission is what I'm hearing. So let's see how this agendas of the Most High is what I'm hearing. So for the overall energy with your union, with the two of you this week and what you're processing through, we have boundaries coming through here with the bridge card and then the Queen of Swords. So something's definitely, this Queen of Swords is connected with the boundaries here, not putting up with anything, things are getting removed out of the DNA strands as well. So anything that's not of God, of God's plan, God's will, God's way, is going to get cleared out this week. So this could be connected to your own consciousness with the Queen of Swords. What is your truth here? Victimhood. There's some sort of like power callback here. I'm hearing you're ushering in the new timeline as well. So this is an alignment basically. I see a lot of like angelic energy here. I see the sacral chakra clearing has completed as well. So there could be something around trauma, as ancestral trauma, inner childhood trauma, or some sort of point of attraction that's more of a physical based that's healing and detoxing out this week. And then also, if you've been going through a lot of those experiences in this lifetime, there's also a remuneration coming in to help you heal, get the confidence back, especially in your feminine energy. Could be things connected with what is my truth, right? And not being deceived any longer. I'm hearing through the Jezebel spirit, through, I feel like it's what God's saying here is, it's like the not to be deceived by the system and the polarities of the programs of the matrix system of marriage and relationships. Here, temptress is also what I'm hearing. So to understand who you are better, to have better sovereignty over that here for you both, and that through that setting stronger boundaries, that you're not entertaining it's dissolving is what I'm hearing. So let's see. And I'm hearing through the back. I see it's through the spinal column more specifically. So it might be felt more in the back, and also clearing the throat chakra. We are in Cancer season this week. So Gemini season, there's usually things around the throat, the mouth, the head, the pituitary gland that can heal, clear, align, and activate here. So this could be a completion of what you've already been going through the solstice here, and now entering into Cancer season. We'll see how this energy changes this week from last week on that. And so for you in your thoughts, we do have the Fox entity here with the Two of Pentacles. There's something around duality with this, with receptive. So now it's the time to receive more of what you've been missing, essentially. I feel like it's the opposite of this Fox entity now, and it's time to like heal and open up emotionally to receive love. So there could have been, this is where the Queen of Swords is helping you, is like, just because you've been deceived, hurt, betrayed, it doesn't mean we have to keep shutting our heart down. In fact, this is like a wall that we are continually shutting away to help align us basically as sovereign. Basically, so we trust ourselves. We're not going to be manipulated any longer. We see the red flags better. We're not going to continually put ourselves in situations where we are getting hurt. And I am seeing again some sort of maybe sexual abuse, karmic abuse, or something around childhood that could have exposed you to this narcissistic entity. And then it's like the portal's been open, and then you're attracting this types of personalities and people into your life that are always taking advantage of you, using you, objectifying you, these sorts of things here. And then we like personify that, and it becomes like the reality that we're experiencing, because that's really the way we've been trained essentially here. So now instead of just shutting down, right, it's like saying you can trust yourself through discernment, through stronger boundaries, through having better dialogue with God, through trusting yourself better, because you're seeing through the red flags, and you're setting the boundaries, right? You're not continually being the victim or people pleasing and these sorts of things. All these things that God's really been detoxing out of us here. He's been building us up to be sovereign, independent in our authority. And when we're in that state, that we can be heart open and trusting, but obviously we're not giving our hearts away to the Fox entities around people here, right? We have to discern where the right energy is to be heart open with, and where the right energy is to have that Queen of Swords protector through seeing through the lies and illusions and the betrayal and these sorts of things. So I think this is coming into a balance within you, where basically that jadedness, that always thinking that people are deceiving you, like just being overly guarded. I think this is what's coming down, and more of a balanced energy is coming in, because we've had like such polar opposites of that, where we've been totally blinded and deceived to overly protecting ourselves, right, and possibly isolating ourselves because of that, not the fear of getting hurt again, right? And now it's like, let's find the middle ground with that here this week. And so emotionally, we have the Knight of Pentacles coming through. Usually this is very, very slow moving energy here, but he's jumping into this whole of crystals, amethyst crystals. We have hope and then marriage coming through with this as well. So if I'm hearing safe, like your body's safe, your union safe. I'm seeing like this is really connected to a lot of layers of this karmic betrayal. It could be definitely ancestral and things that have happened with parents, with grandparents, great grandparents, in the marriage, in the family, in the home, kind of idea here. And so more of a reciprocal value system is what I'm hearing is coming in through your confidence. So it's through the perception of seeing this more clearly and accurately versus overthinking, over controlling, these sorts of things. So there's some sort of surrender coming through here. So this is what the slowdown is. I think more trust that in God's plan for this union as well, that even though your plans could not have, things weren't working out the way you anticipated with things, I'm seeing like there's a very strong earthly masculine energy coming through here right now as well. More of a feedback system of love, of a with the masculine in general, is what it feels like, to help dissolve the past and receive what God has for you in this union template here. So it's going to continue on through this understanding of yourself, your needs, what you want. Is your cup being filled? Where is it the right time to be offering your heart, and when is it now time to be setting boundaries with that in a healthy way? And so we have awakening in the blocks with the Piscean age card here, and then the world card. So there's definitely an ending. It says with the awakening, a change, slowing down to reflect, shifting in priorities and values, and transformation of the inner world. So there's something here around shifting out of that polarity, the duality, the runner chaser type of concepts of the old earth. It's all separation and duality here, and the new earth is oneness and unity, right? Collaboration, partnership, equal partners, right? This sort of thing here. So it's putting an end to the old Piscean age system here with the world card in the Piscean age. Have this awakening. I'm hearing Christ consciousness with that. And I'm hearing also like this is where you're not going to be attracted to like unhealthy, unhealed, narcissistic type of people here any longer. So it's through this inner adjustment. And I think it's very much going to shift your point of attraction now to desiring healthy, unconditionally loving, equal, reciprocal. And I'm also hearing that God's going to be showing you like what the wrong people are, the temptress, the narcissist, and helping. I think it feels more black and white. Like there's with the Queen of Swords, it's not just, they can be this nice way, but they can also be this way, right? Narcissistic. Like there's not the polarities of that here. I think there's some sort of conclusion around all of this. And it's just basically shifting you into God's plan of Holy Grail unions, okay, basically here, and not this matrix programs, okay, that we've already gone through ancestrally, personally here, and bringing in this brand new way of embodying union. So we're all learning it because it's new, but it's actually your original blueprint. So it's what we inherently know within our spirit, within our original DNA strands, the original truth of this covenant union. But we've been deceived so often that we've been blinded to it essentially here. So your action steps this week, we do have the spell work card here with inner light and 4 pentacles. This is the shutting down, putting up the walls here, too scared. And it's like being frozen essentially here, like not wanting to open up to a union, not wanting to, fear, a lot of judgment, self-loathing. I think, again, it's something around trusting yourself, your ability to love again here, put your heart out again, receive love, So however this has been playing out for you personally, I'm hearing this agenda is of the Most High now. So cord cutting, we'll work on that in this week's extended reading to support you clear this old earth mission out and open up to receive this new bloodline and this new way of union and marriage under God. So we can't stay stuck, essentially shut down. We have to open up to receive now. And this is kind of like a reason and a season for holding back and being in that spiritual war. A lot of us have been going through this for years now. And it's essentially looking here like the timeline shift is so far much further into the age of Aquarius now here that we're ready for this new way to materialize physically. And so we have to prepare by having some closure, ending the Piscean age with the World card, getting some peace of mind within yourself, some whatever this is, healing, rectification, understanding, remuneration, however this is going to be for you personally, to continue moving on and trusting God and opening up, being hopeful, right, of this union that God has, and opening up to receive this new way of union coming through here. And we'll clear this spell work too that dampens your light, right? And I think this is what the trauma and abuse, definitely, I know this is what it did. And these people are under a spell to attack us, right? And so perpetrators, especially if it starts like in the first 7 years, developmental years of our life, that's a belief system and a program that's really instilled into us that we have to break and learn a new way here. That God is delivering judgments as well over the spell work, over the entities, to also help dissolve those old earth contracts so you can heal and move on, right? So some of it just might be, again, like the cord cutting and stuff. Some things might still be needing to be rectified, where that they can only get that final closure through God's judgments and then God delivering you from that evil timeline. So for your counterpart this week, we have good Queen of Pentacles coming through, really good with independence. So this is their own feminine energy here. And then high honors. This is my God card coming through. So they're serving God is what I'm hearing, trusting in God's plan. There's no more devil timeline for them is also what I'm hearing. So it looks like a portal is even opening here this week. So they're either their own inner feminines becoming very sovereign, very independent, very powerful, very Queen of Pentacles is earthly energy, materialized energy here. So this could be like who they're evolving into here, more of a stable perspective on this here as well. So they certainly like ascending to another level of graduation here this week. And this could certainly be connected with them financially, because they've had a lot of financial lessons, I'm going to suggest them as, through the Jezebel spirit and the Piscean age here of aligning money and love and assets and building and doing this as a team with the divine feminine Christ. So there looks like some lessons are learned here and they're passing this now here. So this independence, it's helping them also be more loving and also receiving love, a loving partnership with you as well. They understand this truth better and they see this within themselves as well, as what I'm hearing. So it's going to help bring a better balance to the union itself. We have Coward coming through emotionally with the Fortune card, and then Strength. So I think I'm hearing it as a rejection template. It's going to be very important here, especially financially, that they're not staying stuck in the old system here and continuing on cutting it out with the Queen of Swords, setting boundaries with it and moving on. I'm hearing projection woundings as well. So I think it was easier to stay with the Temptress instead of doing the hard work here to remove themselves from that system, from those people, from that job, from their parents, right? From their whatever these things here, I'm hearing it more as a beast system that's been kind of in control of them and their finances and their lifestyle here, and not run away from doing the work. So it looks like they're continuing to grow and evolve and expand here. So it's like mentally they really understand this. Emotionally, there could be some sort of retraction that they're having to process through this week. And it looks like they are seeing some sort of results. Both, it looks like Aquarian energy actually here. Both of these cards have money coming out of this pot here, right? So I'm hearing weave their own destiny. It's the understanding of how they're co-creator with God rather than dependent in a slave system here. And it's all based on love is what I'm hearing. This is the new trajectory and timeline they're on. It's more efficient is also what I'm hearing. More in charge and in control of their life, and like through their own intuitive consciousness that they're seeing their own value, their own worth, their own decision making, like getting very much it feels like they were very much very passive, very non-confrontational, very lazy even here in the opposite energy of this, where now it's like flipping around into taking that control back and not being scared, victimhood, not being scared of the punishment or the reactions that other people might have when they stand up in their own sovereign independence and authority and set boundaries, right? And which could have been like the patterning they had from childhood. If they talked back, if they said no, if they created boundaries, that's when they could get lashed out on, punished, these sorts of things. And then that created a program for the masculine here, especially emotionally, especially if they are a man of that, not allowed to have feelings, not allowed to talk about your feelings, not allowed to cry, you got to be manly, you got to suck it up. This sort of kind of concept could have enveloped them here in a way where they're, confused, shut down, not able to be that sovereign, independent being, not be able to have their emotions, express their feelings here, get their confidence, and lead with their life because of that programming that's basically held them down, right? And suppress them. So we have abandonment wounding coming in their blocks with occupation and the emperor. So this feels like, again, like the emperor is them in their own sovereign authority. No one's going to tell them what to do, boss them around, control them. And it's like the mission with the occupation is what it feels like, to override the fears and the punishment and the worry of punishment and self-loathing as well. Correct this. God's going to help them correct this within themselves and where they've been deceived and deceiving themselves on this level, and bring in this new way, this confidence that God has for them here to step up into being a man, a leader, the divine masculine, the protector, the provider, the caregiver here, and so that they can be in their role and you're safe. You can rely on them, right, to protect, provide, and you can step into your feminine role here where you can open up and work with your emotions, work with your intuition, create that safe container for your marriage, these sorts of things, right? So it's a balance that the two of you are coming in together, and also shared finances is what I'm hearing coming through with this. So their action steps this week, we do have forgiving with the love card coming through, and then the 5 of Cups. So this is, again, a lot of opposite energy coming in that we're going from Piscean age to age of Aquarius here. Unity, oneness, healing, forgiving. So I think it's like the forgiveness and closure and peace is what's going to remove them from staying stuck in this 5 of Cups, which feels like the emotional control system here that's prevented them from stepping up into this powerful masculine that they're actually meant to be here to serve with. And confidence is what I'm hearing. So they're definitely getting it. But we're going deeper. They're going deeper here on an emotional level to heal out what this core wounding is. I'm going to suggest it as, and we'll work on that in the extended reading for them as well. It goes to them and their higher self to receive to the family tree and the bloodline, so that we can put an end to this whole genetic patterning here for this rebirth family tree in the age of Aquarius that God has. So the action steps here, another jug pouring out here. We've got the Temperance card, unworthiness, and then the Thief entity here. So this thief, this fox, this manipulator, whatever it's been here, is what's neutralizing out with the Temperance card. So it's got to come into balance essentially wherever it's been out of balance for the two of you. So that's going to be for all of us on an individual level, but it's to get this light back, this inner light and sovereign power here. So it's coming in to help you set boundaries with this thief entity, not let this thing control you, dictate over you here, tell you you're not good enough, you're not powerful, you're not capable or deserving, and not be stuck in a slave to the system based on all these entities that the devil sends into our lives to hold us back essentially and tell us lies as well. So we're going to clear it all out, and we will support you. If you'd like to join us in this week's extended reading, we're going to get more cards for you and go deeper into this reading, and also do the shamanic God code. So it goes through, we're working in the quantum field with the shamanic God code, and we're using the God code to decode this old code and system that we've been operating on and bring in the new program and system. It's all with what's available energetically this week and where we're all at and ready to continue forward with. So if you'd like to join us, the link is down below. Thank you so much for joining me here. God bless you and have a very blessed week. Take care.